The tournament of power had begun, and as predicted, it was chaotic and rapid. Initially, there were a lot of small skirmishes going down, to which Babidi was trying his best to avoid. He wanted to save his spells in case any real situation occurred. Those mutts from Universe 9, for example, didn't seem like much even to him, and honestly, they felt like, to him, a waste of a good spell. He had to be wary though. Universe 6 now had their own Saiyans, and Universe 11 looked incredibly tough. And speaking of Universe 6, his eyes met with those of a figure similar in stature to himself. Both of them had that same paranoid look to them, like they didn't really belong here, but they were forced here against their will, trying to scan the entire battlefield as best they can in hopes that they don't get eliminated. Oh yeah, the wizard could recognize another wizard. You, Potato! You will find out that it was a mistake to cross your eyes with me, the amazing Dr. Rota. You will fall for my special abilities.
Let me guess. Is it magic?
The boy looked slightly crestfallen.
What? You can do magic. Look, so can I. Not exactly that common here, buddy, but also not unheard of. You're not that special, piggy.
What did you call me? Rota decided to go for a fireball in response, to which Babidi decided to use a counterspell on to redirect it towards Nink from Universe 4, who was thrown through the area.
A rookie mistake. Never start with a fireball.
His eyes narrowed.
Everyone expects a fireball.
Dr. Rota was furious at the insubordination of this potato, and was about to hit Babidi with another spell, but the two of them were then divided by Universe 9, trying to charge upon the team of Universe 7. The two teams met up in a climactic duel before Babidi's team ultimately succeeded, which ended up in the first complete elimination. As Zeno raised his little hand, everyone from that world just disappeared. Wow, that was cold. Even the potato wizard thought that. He was around the Omni King for quite a while too, and he had to admit that he never ceased to scare him. If you wanted me to say amazed, then no, he was scared. Meanwhile, he could witness Krillin's rather disgusting duel with a being named Majora. Still, the monk did succeed there, which ended up with much celebration. That is until Frost of Universe 6 showed up and decided to sneak behind the monk and attempted to ring him out.
Oh no, you don't!
As Krillin plummeted outside the ring, Babidi used one of his telekinesis spells to catch him and throw him back into the ring. So yes, Krillin is still in the competition.
Stop messing around, we got a job to do!
Sorry, thanks Babidi, won't happen again! Sadly, with that though, he had attracted some unwanted attention. Hit nodded toward Frost. Get the wizard.
No, don't get the wizard, don't get the wizard!
Babidi squeaked when the Freezer knockoff started to chase him around the arena. And the chase would take some time if not for a certain pink hand in a yellow glove that wouldn't poke Frost on the arm.
Excuse, Buu!
Frost attempted to punch this pink and muscular blob out of the way, but his hand got stuck in the mass.
Anyway, what Buu was saying was, no one messes up Rudolph Boss but Buu!
Babidi didn't know if he wanted to cheer or not at that remark, but after those words, Frost got the beating of his life. Aw, he did care. Buu simply grabbed him by the tail and started knocking him around Hulk style without all of that much effort.
Thanks, Buu. You're welcome, Rudolph Boss!
Buu exclaimed cheerfully. Frost was trying to crawl away and fight for another day. After all, he was still pretty durable, he is a knockoff of Frieza. But Babidi managed to blast him off with a second telekinesis spell. He still had a few remaining left of those. Meanwhile, he looked at the rest of the battlefield. His team was actually doing rather well. But so were teams 11 and 6. Also that weird one with the robots. Was it 3? Yeah, it was Universe 3. Babidi didn't really have much patience for technology. The tournament was chaotic though and quick, so Buu quickly went to fight other people, which ended with Universe 10 being eliminated next. Good. They weren't even trying that hard, Babidi thought. They got better chances of survival than those goons. Those guys looked all defeated before the erasure, but it didn't affect the wizard at all at seeing them being erased. He then looked to Goasu and thought about Zamasu from a while back, not being able to see this. He felt a weird sensation in his stomach. Still, Babidi had to find a safe place for himself, especially when that meek Saiyan girl from Universe 6 transformed into that scary, massive behemoth. From what Babidi could tell, it was an absolute devastating massacre. He was considering maybe enlarging one of his team members, maybe the Android Ranger perhaps, but he then got a strike from behind with a ray of ice.
Haha, my rival! This time it was you who hadn't been watching. You have been bestowed upon by Dr. Ruta!
Babidi rolled his eyes. He felt cold, and his movement was impaired, but the spell wasn't particularly powerful. It was just kind of annoying. Before the next strike came, he managed to block it. But the worst thing is that he was a sitting duck, and that giant woman was moving toward him, lickety-split, kicking people out of the ring as she went. Someone then grabbed him by the coat and hurled him out of harm's way in the nick of time. It was that three-eye individual, Tenshin Han. "Are you alright, wizard?" asked the Triclops.
Thanks,
he said while shivering. But the rampage of that girl, Kale as the other one was calling her, was stopped in its tracks by one of the Pride Troopers. Babidi had had an eye on him before, as he was mostly tending to Piccolo and napping whilst meditating, but when he moved, he was able to make her unconscious with just one punch. His power was simply jaw-dropping. Son Goku, of course, decided that he would be dueling this individual, and they fought. He could hardly lay a punch on the guy though. It was quite worrying for Babidi. Sadly, a sniper from Universe 2 had been targeting them, and this bald guy pushed him out of harm's way again, but he got eliminated himself. On one hand, it was sentimental, yet foolish, but on the other, yeah, Babidi was actually quite grateful. He had lost sight of Son Goku and the grey alien Jiren, so he used the opportunity to boost the size of the android twins who were fighting those noisy, flamboyant women from Universe 2, the Kamikaze Fireballs. Then he located Krillin, Piccolo, and Gohan and blessed them with additional haste, which made them much quicker, very quick. You could hear angry voices shouting, "Get the wizard! Get the wizard! Get the wizard!" shouted a very uncharacteristically irate Hit. Oh damn. They had seen him flying around and being helpful. At some point, he was chased around by Hit of Universe 6, but was intercepted by the Jiren dude. And it was really sad to see the assassin lose to this wall of bricks. He was considering throwing a spell at him, but if it failed, he had his full attention. That wouldn't be the smartest move. Then Son Goku went in for round 2, and this time he wanted to use the Spirit Bomb against the alien. Hey, that was a pretty smart idea, thought Babidi. Good thinking. It seemed that the Saiyan was now actually starting to think as a proper fighter for once, instead of just being a selfish git. He gladly offered Goku some of his power to help boost the Spirit Bomb, and Jiren just simply reflected the bomb back at Goku. There was something that looked like a black hole that formed, bizarrely, that seemingly absorbed Goku into it. He didn't know he could do that. Babidi and the others were speechless.
Hey, he killed Goku! That guy should be eliminated, it's against the rules!
The wizard was jumping up and yelling out of protest. The Grand Priest looked at him coldly though. His own attack reflected onto him, Babidi. Therefore, Goku of Universe 7 assisted in his own self-destruction.
Assisted self-destruction? What nonsense was this?
Babidi tried to shake off these technicality thoughts, as he was pretty sure that the big Papa Angel there could probably read his mind. He already had experience of that from Piccolo. But before anyone could mourn Goku, he reappeared. He had risen, but somehow different. Another form? Wait, why is everyone standing up? What is this Ultra Instinct thing? To say that Son Goku had never ceased to amaze Babidi was the understatement of the century. But this time, this ape-man had amazed even the gods. Still, even with that tremendous power, Goku did eventually run out of steam, which caused him to then be knocked around by Jiren for a third time. Vegeta had caught him, and when Babidi had noticed this, he called in Buu to heal Goku. Buu started to quickly heal the Saiyans, and Babidi then attempted to try and shield them in the process. Sadly for them, Jiren and 2 Pride Troopers, the one named Toppo and the Fast Rabbit one, started to attack the prince. Buu was almost done, but Jiren easily punched through Babidi's shield and interrupted the process from fully completing. Luckily, Goku had regained most of his power. It was enough for him to get away. Buu decided to give everyone some time and began to duel the grey alien himself. He tried to place bits of himself around the arena, but Jiren was simply evaporating them almost as soon as he'd actually put them down. As he was about to throw the Majin from the arena, Babidi then attempted to rescue his old minion with another telekinesis spell, but was hit by a powerful storm of magic missiles from Dr. Rota. He cursed the ball as Buu left the arena. Luckily, Goku had managed to sneak off. Meanwhile, he observed the rest of the battle and the remaining fighters. The androids were trying to finish off Universe 2, Gohan and Piccolo were fighting 2 Namekians, and Vegeta was still being chased by 2 of the Pride Troopers. And as for Jiren, he had returned to his meditation, it seemed. He could not see Krillin for the moment, but he could assume that he was just trying his best to survive and hunkered down. But Babidi's mission right now was to get rid of Rota, who was getting on his nerves.
What's the matter, Potato? Running out of spells? Quite the contrary, little piggy. I was simply keeping them back for more serious threats.
This angered Rota, who started to bombard him with tons of magic missiles. He decided to conjure some mirror images, something that, in hindsight, would have come in handy a little bit earlier. In the background, he could see the androids eliminating Universe 2. Good job. Again, they were trying to seem brave and giving their people some hope with their touchy-feely love as they were being eliminated. So what was that weird feeling in Babidi's stomach again? Never mind, he had to get rid of Rota. He was all on the offensive and had been able to quickly dispatch a lot of the mirror images. He decided to blink in front of him and blind him with a flash of light.
What have you done, you little?
Rota was trying to violently hit his opponent, but blinded, it looked like a comical farce.
All right, the wizard thought to himself. I'll have one more after this.
He used his telekinesis spell to throw Dr. Rota at Kawe of Universe 4, and with that, he managed to get a double elimination. But he was slowly running out of power. He did have some powerful buffing spells remaining, 1 telekinesis spell, and something he kept back for an emergency situation that he would not use lightly. Wait, oh no. Are those 2 Saiyan girls from Universe 6 fusing? Yeah, they're fusing. How is that allowed, he thought. Okay though, this might be a problem. But instead of going for Jiren, they decided to fight Gohan and Goku, who, after a while, again transformed into that weird Ultra Instinct thingy. Wait, Babidi hadn't expected to see anyone running a ki blast like that. Wow. But still, it ended up with a double elimination, and soon enough, Universe 6 was eliminated. Apparently, the rest made quick work of the remaining fighters, and Vegeta defeated Kaba too. This time, Babidi knew what that feeling was. In this case, liking was too big of a word, but he still respected those guys. It was a huge shame. They didn't have time to dwell on this though, as apparently 2 invisible fighters had taken down Krillin.
Piccolo, can you hear them?
Screamed Babidi.
Oh, right, my hearing thing. Yeah, thanks.
Babidi was at a loss for words.
Wait, don't tell me you actually forgot you could do that.
No, of course not. What do you think I am, Goku?
Babidi and the Namekian were able to find those 2 enemies. Now he had remembered he could actually hear very small things. It turned out that one was really small and the other was simply invisible. Thanks to the directions from his mentor, Gohan was able to kick the invisible one out. But as for the small one, this might be an unorthodox way of using it, but Babidi used his magic to enlarge them. Oh yeah, sure, he got stronger, but this being wasn't really used to being that big, so it was very hard for him to move.
Good thinking.
Trying to stay away from the bug, Piccolo charged his special beam cannon at the enemy, knocking him out of the ring. And that was the end of Universe 4. Admittedly, Babidi felt the least bad for them, but it was mostly because of how irritating that yellow mouse, although he now actually kind of felt bad for the underlings. When all of this went down, the remaining mechanical madmen of Universe 3 gathered together to fuse into one gigantic being. Babidi knew what to do. He used his magic to enlarge Piccolo. When the amalgamation was held by the Namekian, the other fighters bombarded him with many attacks to try and throw him back down and out of the arena. Sadly, Agnilasa managed to pull the massive Piccolo out of the arena with him. So, it was just the Saiyans, the androids, and Babidi left. As Universe 3 was erased, he realized that, here it was, 2 teams remain. They had the numbers, as they stood against Dispo, Toppo, and Jiren. They could actually do this. He paused to think as Jiren appeared over him.
You've been annoyingly useful to your team. Allow me to show you absolute strength.
And Babidi felt as if he had been hit by a train. When he came to, he was hidden amongst the rubble with Android 17. He hadn't been knocked out.
What happened?
They'll hear us. They'll think we're both dead.
What?
Gohan caught you, but he had a mutual takeout with the rabbit thing. Jiren got my sister. I was protecting you and faked self-destruction when fighting the big guy, while Vegeta's over there is dealing with the mustachio one.
He's awfully blue. Bluer than usual. What's with the Topo guy? He wasn't that big before.
No idea. Listen, Goku's on his last legs. You got any spells left?
1 telekinesis, 1 invisibility, and 2 hastes. That's all I got.
Alright, go invisible. Seems like Goku's getting the hang of that Ultra Instinct thing. About time. I think Vegeta can defeat Topo, but we're gonna need all hands on deck for that Jiren guy. He's something else. And yeah, just as the android predicted, Vegeta was able to knock Topo out and went in to help Goku, but was knocked out respectfully by Jiren. Alright, we need to get to Goku. Go invisible. The same was his last legs, and as Jiren was slowly moving toward him, he nodded slowly.
I was wrong about you, Son Goku. You are an honorable fighter, but that doesn't matter now. I feel defeated by you and wish to fulfill my wish.
Suddenly, a green shield covered Goku, much to Jiren's surprise.
You are still
alive? Yeah, faking my death's not against the regulations. Goku. Ready for the last hurrah? Goku nodded. Babidi knew what to do. He gave the two of them haste, so they were ever faster. They kept pushing Jiren, who was starting to get tired finally, toward the edge of the ring. They became like missiles trying to make him lose his balance. And as Babidi lost his invisibility, he used the last telekinesis to make Jiren trip over. Both Goku and 17 shot at him like living projectiles and have him fall out of the arena, leaving Babidi alone in the middle of the world of void. Only now did he see that everyone was looking at him, a tired and scared little potato in the middle of a crumbled arena. Universe 11 has been eliminated. Universe 7 is victorious. Beerus was overjoyed.
Oh, Babidi, you sly dog, you!
Babidi was shocked at first. He witnessed Goku shaking hands with Jiren before Universe 11 was released. The next thing he saw was Super Shenron looking over him, with the Grand Priest standing beside him. Come forth, Wizard Babidi of Universe 7. As the last one standing, you get a wish on Super Shenron. This was it. He could wish for absolute control over these fools, for power greater than before. He could be the great warlock Babidi again, ultimate ruler of the 5 universes, yeah. His potato head turned toward the stands, where Buu, Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Android 17 were genuinely cheering for him. 18, Tenshinhan and Vegeta, they were a little bit more skeptical. So was the Supreme Kai, but he knew why. So what was that annoying feeling in his stomach? It would be so easy to get his way now. He could rub this in Zamasu's face. Except there was no Zamasu anymore. And not only him, but that annoying pigman, who saw himself as his rival, was also gone. And tons of planets and people were also gone. Oh, this was so frustrating. Don't tell me that all of this stupid sentimental stuff had rubbed off on him. The Grand Priest smirked. Babidi, everyone is waiting.
I wish,
he said, taking a deep breath.
I wish all those fools who were raised today to be restored, just so I can see their stupid faces and they can owe me.
Zeno giggled and looked at the Grand Priest. Are you sure? Asked the head angel.
No, yes, bring them back.
Good. You passed the test.
Huh?
If the wish on Super Shenron had been selfish, your universe would have been erased as well. Grand Zeno has planned this right from the start, and everything started to return. He could see bits of the planets and stars returning, worlds reforming, people realizing what had happened. Babidi's heart was beating very fast. He dodged a little bullet there. He looked at the Omni King. Could that little brat really have planned this right from the start? His gaze turned toward the mysterious father of angels, who was now standing with all of his children that had gathered there that day. Was he the real deal pulling the strings? It was hard to say, but it was really stressful. Goku approached him.
Great job on the wish, Babidi. That was truly something. A moment of weakness, nothing more.
Vegeta seemed almost apologetic.
It seems you really deserve some sort of respect,
he acknowledged.
Yay, our boss is not rude anymore.
Buu gave him a hug.
Buu can now return to being round and happy again. Let's not get crazy there.
Finally, Gohan and Piccolo approached him. Hey, that was really great. How are you feeling?
Stressed.
Piccolo tilted his head.
What you did there was pretty big. You basically saved the lives of 8 universes.
I did? Yeah, I guess I did.
And how did it feel?
The wizard felt that everyone was looking at him again.
You know, I don't hate myself.
He gave everyone a tired smile. Finally, there was recent Beerus.
There's my favorite wizard. Great job out there,
Beerus said loudly. Oh yes, Lord Beerus suggested that I could, you know, restore your power to its fullest. You will no longer need spell books or be limited. He waved his staff. Be ready, it'll only take a moment. There was a moment of silence.
You know what, Whis? That's really generous, but I'd rather do this on my own.
Both of them were surprised.
You do?
Yeah, I guess. I guess those stupid monkeys have taught me a thing or two about self-improvement.
He winked at Goku.
Besides, not that there is a wizard to challenge my power right now in our universe, so why would I need it?
At the same time, a terrifying training session in magic was happening, and an ancient evil and an ancient lesser evil were preparing to rock the world of our potato wizard in his final arc. But that is where we're going to be leaving things for right now.